What's up? Welcome to Rough Cuts. For creators, by creators. I'm Jermaine. That's Josh. We have Dylan, the man behind the chair. You can find more of these podcasts on Planet Grim on our YouTube channel. So if you like this episode, leave a like, subscribe, show some love, share it with your friends. I'm sure you guys can have a podcast and chill.
That's gonna be a nice little idea. We're gonna do that next. We're gonna watch we'll do like a, I don't fucking know, Treasure Planet podcast. We'll just have someone like reading Treasure Planet to us.
We'll read the script. We'll have Dylan read the script and
I can do all the voices.
yeah.
Actually, funny thing, there is actually this app called Weekend Read where it gives you the full scripts of famous movies, and I think it's really cool. And I had it for a while, but like I kept like not reading the scripts. Like I would just get them like, oh, that's a cool script. I saw that movie. Download it and just be like, yeah, eventually I'm gonna read that. Just never reading it.
Yeah, you find a lot of fine detail in the script.
Oh yeah, it's
like,
interesting.
that you didn't really notice in the movie.
Like emotions
Yeah,
that
specific cues and stuff like that.
like
Yeah.
you might not have like picked up on. But anyways, we are going to talk about our first experiences as filmmakers together.
Yes.
Ooh. Now, I personally have only been here in New Jersey for about 5 years now, and I've known Jermaine almost every year I've been here.
Yeah. Basically day one.
I came here in like November of 2017, enrolled in school in like January, and that's where I met him. And then eventually I met Dylan as well. We were in a film and TV production course together, and that's essentially how we met and how we all got into film for the most part, I guess.
Yeah.
We might have had like prior projects beforehand. I think you both kind of did stuff in high school.
Yes.
I only did backstage for the play
Okay.
in high school.
I never did any like film stuff beforehand at all. Like the only other stuff I did like beforehand was like with my little camcorders, just recording on my own, or I made like Lego stop motion stuff. That was all I did. I never did anything in school.
Yeah.
Well, I had one class. It was like one class, and I made a short with somebody. It's not good. I have the script for it. I gotta show you guys sometime. It's insane. It was. I didn't know how to write a script either.
Yeah.
So
Fun
I
experience.
think I have the most like film stuff before college because I had
Yeah,
like
before
3
college.
years. Like, and we did pretty much a whole college course. Like a lot of stuff when I went to college, it was the same shit. That was relearning.
Okay.
but we all had this film course and the same teacher. Me and Jermaine had the same class the first year,
Yeah.
first semester, and we got put together on a group for a short film about it's a crime kind of
It was like a
crime movie.
it was just a crime movie. Yeah. It was.
Yeah,
That
I
was
was about to
just.
say.
It was just an action, but more like performance heavy.
Yeah. The whole premise was like it was an A to B thing.
Yeah.
With little to no dialogue. And I think we nailed the little to no dialogue thing because I don't think there's any real dialogue besides like some improv moments.
Yeah.
Where it's
Maybe
just
like
what's up?
Yeah.
I think that's the only word I can remember besides him like pushing him saying get off or something like that.
Mhm.
But that project was interesting. The way that it kind of started, we had everyone in the class pitch their film, and then 2 people's film would be picked, and then we had to choose, okay, I want to help out with this film or this film, and me and Jermaine both helped out on one film called Easy Money.
Yes.
We kind of had roles and kind of didn't have roles at the same
Our roles
time.
constantly changed.
It was interesting though because I remember one of our first meetings after was we all got together in class, had this like what was like the big notepad
Yeah.
we were writing ideas on, and I had my notebook we were writing ideas on. I ended up writing the script. I
Yeah.
remember. It was someone else's idea, but everyone gave me their notes and I wrote the script. Because it was just like originally our ideas were just a bunch of sequences.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, he does this, and then he does this, and then he does this, and this is how it ends. And I don't think we even had an ending at the time.
No, we didn't. Our ending came, I think, halfway through production.
Oh yeah. But I wrote the script, and we didn't end up using it at all. I think I just wrote it, turned it in, and that was it.
Yeah.
I don't think we used it. But I do remember you did do some camera work.
Yes. And I did teach some of the people we were working with how to use.
You
the
had more
cameras.
camera experience than everyone else.
Mhm.
We did shoot in my old apartment when I first moved here.
Yeah.
Because at the time I like had no furniture, so it worked for what we were doing. And then I had this weird old cot
Yeah.
that I just never used. So I was like, oh, sweet, we can use it. And I still have that cot, and I will still use that apartment. But like, it was a pretty good, I guess, first experience. It wasn't like too bad, but it wasn't like, oh my god, like perfect kind of thing.
Yeah, it definitely encouraged me to do more because at the time I was still unsure of what I wanted to do, and that kind of solidified it for me. So
I know for me it was like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like I knew that for sure. I could figure that out from doing that. Like I had fun, like connecting with everybody over this. I had fun doing the work and like seeing the different things that we could do and like setting up the sets and the props and everything. I remember we had prop guns.
Yeah.
That I think they snapped the orange tips off of, so they looked really realistic. And I just remember that was like I just took a bunch of pictures with it.
Yeah.
Which was weird, but it was weird because like even though we didn't have any real equipment, all we had is a camera at first
And whatever we borrowed from the school.
And it was interesting because like how we lit one scene, which ended up really well. We just had a flashlight.
Yeah.
And it lit.
We hung
better.
it to the ceiling with a broom.
Exactly. And then we
yeah.
got actual lights, tried to light it, and it was worse.
Yeah.
It was so weird to think about that. And then you know, there was we had a drone too because someone brought their drone, and we shot this entire sequence in this parking lot. And then I think somebody took their edit into class. Everyone had to bring their own edit, like everyone in the group.
Yeah.
And someone brought their edit and showed it to class, and then our teacher was all like, so he's stealing this car, but in the scene before it, he was using that car.
So he stole his own car?
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense. So we were like,
gotta cut that scene out.
Yeah. So we could not use that at all.
I've never seen that drone shot. Do you have that?
I might. I think it's like deep in my computer, or maybe on like a hard drive. I might be able to find it and show you.
Yeah, that's wild.
But like we used a drone shot, and it looked like security footage, and it was cool. I remember, and we had to like fake like him, jimmying in the door to like do it, and like
we also did a whole scene inside the car, like
I
the
just
car
remembered
pulling
that.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then like we just didn't end up using it. And I remember there's this one shot where like there's this whole thing where we were in Philly, in this on this busy road, under like an underpass, and like the whole point was that he just robbed some kind of store or something, and he's running down. He's supposed to meet somebody to get picked up, and what ends up happening is he's running, and he stops, takes off the mask, and puts it in a bag, takes out a cell phone, and he was supposed to be like, "Hey, I'm here," or like signal it. All he did was take the phone out, throw it against the wall, and then just waits around like, oh, where is he? And it's like, I mean, you threw the phone away before you could even call anybody. So I had to edit around that. And there was like a whole thing we did where like we were twisting around a pillar.
Yeah.
So I used that as a cut in action to like hide that, to conceal it.
Yeah, we had to have the car that we were using for him to jump in. It was street was so hard to get into because you can't just turn around.
Oh no.
They had to circle the block in order to so we had to time it.
And then we had the perfect audio because of like the screech of the car just pulling off.
Yeah, I remember
which was
that.
So good. And then the ending was kind of interesting because like I don't think it fully, like the entire film doesn't fully make sense, which makes sense. I mean, we were beginning filmmakers. We didn't really pay attention to the story. We didn't really use a script.
Yeah.
We didn't have a shot list even. We were just kind of like showing up with some cameras and be like, all right, what do we do this? And I think we used 2 different cameras that were set 2 different ways.
Yeah.
So I remember editing, and I had to not use any footage from one camera entirely. And I remember we didn't have a set ending. And so then like, oh, does he get shot? Does he not get shot?
Yeah. And
like I ended up acting in the movie, which is funny because like now anytime that I need acting, I always go to you, and you should have acted in that, not me.
Yeah, but I was behind the camera, so I was trying to help everybody figure out how to work this thing.
But it's just interesting because like I remember all our edits were slightly different.
Yeah.
But like I did like editing that. I used a lot of like, I learned a lot from it
Mm-hmm.
about audio editing and video editing, which is cool. But at the same time, I just remember this like feeling of like watching the stuff back because like it's so funny. I feel like I'm still doing this sometimes where like I'm doing something, I'm shooting something, oh this looks great, this looks so good, and then I put it in my computer after and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't like go together.
Yeah, it
so I'm
doesn't
always
flow.
careful about that now. That's
Yeah.
why I always make a shot list now. Even for small things. I'm always talking about, oh, we need to make a shot list.
Yeah.
And it's just because like I've learned, you know, doing one thing, like one sequence to another, you need something to lead in. Otherwise, it's just like all of a sudden nothing's happening. And I learned that because of the next project I did, which is like one of the first ones I did on my own, kind of, where like I was directing it.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, I didn't have a plan for it. I just remember I was working at a movie theater at the time, and I asked some of my coworkers, like two teenagers, like, "Hey, can you star in this for me?" And like we just came after work one day to this park, and I didn't have shots, didn't have any ideas. I just like brought some props. Like, oh, let's do this. Oh, that would be cool. And we shot it together. One of our lights died.
Hey.
But we just threw it together, and then like it came up with this idea called the negative,
Yeah.
where like he's being chased by the negative version of himself, and that's one of the first projects Dylan helped me out on.
Oh boy, do you remember the name of that park?
No, it's something state park,
Yeah,
but it was an old golf course, which is interesting.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, but I remember I had Dylan doing audio for me, which I didn't need audio for it. I realized, but I did have him.
Of course.
Yeah. But it was such a mess to reshoot it because I tried to make a story kind of,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't fully have it put together. And like, what ended up happening is we would show up to this park, and we would get some shots, but it would be like just before dark,
Yeah.
and then I ended up not having the light to do things. And then like the next time we went, it was freezing cold.
Mm-hmm.
And so we couldn't get all the shots. So we were doing the shots, like, okay, cool, we'll do this. I just want to get everyone out and blah, blah, blah. And I just remember with the footage sitting at my computer, just with like my head in my hand, like, I can't make a short out of this. There's nothing there.
Yeah, we eventually turned it into a trailer.
Yeah, I turned it into a trailer. And I only turned it into a trailer because I got the help of Mike Groves.
Yeah.
Like, he suggested it, and he like helped me like actually come up with some ideas with it, and like even like tweaking like the monster negative I had, because it was just him in a mask with like not even a mask. It was like one of those like sleeve pull-on things that you put over your neck, and then like a hoodie. So it just looked cheesy. And then he helped me and put some like smoke over it so it looked a bit better. And then like I used some footage from an escape room that I went to. That like I didn't even think I could do this escape room. I was there to like help someone else make a thing for it. I didn't make anything with that. I just had the footage.
Yeah.
So I ended up using that together. Did you end up helping me with that? I don't fully remember.
I think I came in halfway through the development into that because I do remember helping with camera work.
Yeah.
I think the first time you went, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
The second time you went when it was cold, I was there.
You were there.
I remember the cold. And
Yeah.
that's when me and Jermaine met.
Yeah.
What was your guys' experience on that?
It was freezing, but
I didn't have any gloves.
yeah.
I felt so bad about keeping
I think I had a
everyone
thin
out there.
jacket too.
Yeah, no one brought a coat.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad because I asked everyone to be here and everyone helped me, and I was just like, fuck. So I just felt so bad. And like, that's one of the things about being a filmmaker that I'm really like, about is that I want to get these shots. I want to do these things. I want to finish projects. But I feel so bad about asking people like, hey, can you do that again? Or hey,
Yeah.
can you do it this way? Or hey, can you blah, blah, blah? And it's like, I feel so bad, but like, I want it to look good.
Yeah, it was.
We were there till like closing. I
Yeah.
think. It was like 11.
The park wasn't even like, it had no lights. It was pitch dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
We were walking through like the shadow
We
realm.
were in the shadow. It's the negative.
I remember meeting Dylan. Dylan and I had a great time together.
We made out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Lots of crazy stuff happens when you're driving home.
Yeah.
They didn't really make out, but you know. They should.
our-
Wait, I remember afterward we went and got pizza.
Yeah, we did.
And
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember because I recorded you saying something. I can't remember what it was that you said.
It was probably something stupid.
It was something stupid, but there was another time I remember we were in film class and we were just hanging out. And then you were talking about the earth being flat. And I was looking at a ladder and it was yellow, and I was like, it's tall, it's yellow, it's a giraffe. And I put that on Snapchat, and I
Yeah.
was very proud of myself. But then in the background, it just has blah blah blah, something about the Earth being flat. It's like Shark Tank. Oh god.
Earth's not flat, by the way. I
You know, it was a
only
joke.
said it as a joke.
Yeah. See, Jermaine, he doesn't exist really,
Nah.
so you don't really take anything he says seriously.
Yeah.
The next project that I think we did to get
Hold on. Dylan's input of
Oh yeah.
Oh, working on the negative.
yeah.
It was cool. We went to Josh's first apartment, I think.
Oh yeah, that's where we shot you.
And that's,
money.
I think Josh still has it. We just started by brainstorming ideas in his notebook.
For the negative.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
have
still
a
have it.
list of ideas.
I keep the notebook and I keep a bunch of ideas in it. So I have ideas that I've never made that
Yeah.
I have had for like maybe 5 years now.
You should show an image of the notebook on camera.
Maybe if I like remember it in post, but
Yeah.
do it.
Anyway,
Um,
but yeah, it was cool, and we went to the park. And the park, he also made a very interesting short with the park with like ambiance and just random footage.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's very neat. Hopefully, we re-release that soon.
And I remember. So, I believe the negative was first semester.
Yeah, well, that
No,
was film.
the
No,
negative
it was
second
second
semester,
semester
I
because I
remember.
wasn't there. I
Yeah,
wasn't in
okay,
classes
That was
anymore.
our film 2 class.
Easy Money was first semester, and then I remember after first year, we went to like we were gonna do a film club. We were making a film club, and we all went to Philly
Yeah.
to look at the Philly Film Showcase.
Yes.
And that was so fun. I remember that. Like that was like one of my first times in Philly, and like we just had fun. We just enjoyed it. We
Yeah.
were like
We went to a
this-
thrift shop,
went to a museum too, like a little
Yeah.
like, local thing.
pizza place. That pizza
Mhm.
place was good.
I don't even remember it fully.
I know exactly where it is.
I remember
it's
I
in a
got
corner.
coffee. I got
Yeah.
espresso, and that was the first time I ever got that.
I got a Panzerotti, right? And it was supposed to be a small, and I
Mm-hmm.
spent about roughly between maybe $8. And dude, this thing was this big.
That was from Easy Money. I remember.
Yeah, easy money.
That was the Easy Money shoot, not the film festival.
dude.
I'm sad though because the film festival, the place, I think it closed down because of like COVID stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
the
bummed about
company's
that.
still around. I still get emails from.
Oh yeah.
I'm
same.
sure once this is all over,
I really want to
they'll
do
probably
it again.
come
That was
back.
so fun because like they had it was free,
Mhm.
so local filmmakers could put in their film and showcase it.
Mhm.
And I just remember it was just so fun, and you could see local people, you could see like people from like every walks of life. So you have people who are in school, people who are like older people
and
who
then
are our
like, in
age.
between. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had we had a few animated ones.
Oh yeah.
They were pretty good.
I remember.
I
I still have some of
remember-
them on Instagram too.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
remember this older gentleman made it's like a all I remember really is all of the pretty shots that he did of Philly. Like he was next to
Wait, was it
the
at
art
night?
museum. Yeah, it was at
Yeah,
night.
I remember.
The art museum.
Oh
There's
my God.
pretty colors, and he did pretty good on
So
that.
the whole premise of that was like he was like this, not taxi driver, exactly. He was like some I don't know. He was like a hitman or something almost, but he like delivered bodies,
Mm.
and like
Ooh.
he was a girl came into the car, and then I think she ends up killing him. It was really weird. I don't remember it fully, but I remember the shots were beautiful. But it was all black and white. If I
Yeah,
remember
it was. It was.
Yeah. But that was all first semester, and then second semester is when I fully like met Dylan and started working with him. That's when we made the negative, and then we made Regrets, which was a class short.
Oh boy.
So Regrets was interesting. Essentially what it was we were halfway through the semester, and for the curriculum we were supposed to bring I think like have 5 finished short films at the end of the semester. But most of us only had 1,
Yeah.
or maybe
Didn't have
2.
shit.
Most of us just didn't have any. So
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of hard when you're asking like people who also have other classes that kind of overshadow filmmaking.
Yeah,
Like they give you work to do, obviously at home, and so like it was kind of hard to come up with like
Yeah.
5 scripts.
I had like 5 courses at the time.
yeah. So like the whole thing was like, oh, okay, so you are going to make a film in class, working together, all together.
Mhm.
So the whole thing was, okay, everyone make a script over this general idea, this topic, which was regrets.
Yeah.
And we all did that, and the whole thing was over the weekend we were supposed to write a script, and on Sunday night we would choose someone's script, and then we would all, say, okay, this is my job, blah blah blah.
Okay.
Sunday night comes. Guess who made a script?
Only you.
Only me. I was the only one who made a script. No one else did. So
I think I did like an outline, but
no one
it
else
was
made a
nothing
script.
usable.
I remember being in the Discord server that we made for it and being all like, all right, guys, I have my script ready. Just waiting and be like, guys? And just
Hello?
nothing. So then, like, we ended up doing my script, and I was a director. It was my first time directing, like, a big group of people,
Yeah.
which really kind of like, oh shit, like, this is a real moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I kind of assigned everyone jobs. I think I had you do audio again, Dylan.
Probably.
And Jermaine wasn't in the class, but I think I asked him to help too.
Yeah, I came afterwards because I remember you giving me a call and like, hey, we're doing this thing. I believe it was a few weeks after they chose yours,
Mhm.
and so I came in and they were talking about yours.
Yeah, I remember, because, oh my god. It was just weird because, I'll get to that later, but like, so we made this, I was a director, Dylan was on audio, it was a 3-hour class time, and that's what we had to make the film. I mean, originally he wanted us to make it and edit it at the end of the class, but we just did not have time to do that.
Yeah.
Because, for one, we all came early, or I asked people to come early, and some people did, and then we all showed up, door was locked. Door was locked, so
yeah.
then we ended up getting to go in, and then it took a while. I think we were 30 minutes past class time by the time it got unlocked. We got indoors, and then people were still late. So then, like, I asked people, like, okay, who can do this, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I had some people do certain things, and, like, they were saying, oh, yeah, I can do that. And then they're like, yeah, I don't know how it works, but I can do that. And I was just like, okay, fuck. Okay, then I just ended up doing it for them, and I was doing so much. And then, like, the person I asked to be, like, slate, so people who don't know this, the person who does slate says, scene blah, take blah, and then the director or assistant director is supposed to say action.
Yeah.
This person kept saying action immediately, and I just remember going, and like I just went along with it for a while until someone's like, so I noticed that you're not saying action, and I was like, yeah. And I just remember being so stressed about it because I was doing so much, and it was the first time I ever did that.
Yeah.
But that was kind of a mess of a shoot because, like, we had 3 cameras for this for some reason. I don't know why we were all recording at the same time. It was kind of
I
stupid.
think it was like a, requirement.
It
from the
wasn't.
teacher. You sure?
No.
I think he said something about 3 or 1 cameras.
No, I remember essentially we had 3 cameras, but we didn't need them because we were doing them all at the same time at different angles. And there was like, why are we doing this? Because there was no reason to, because we ended up only using 1.5 of the camera's footage.
Yeah.
Because one camera just didn't work out. The other cameras, the ISO was set too high or something, so it had a banding issue. So we were
Also,
like, all right.
Focus.
Yeah, and there was a focus issue.
Yeah,
too.
the focus issues.
And it was like so much, and like tensions were high, but then like at the same time we were still trying to enjoy it. And then I remember one of the last shots we did like a trunk shot, which I was really happy with. It turned out really well. I still love it to this day. I love doing trunk shots.
Mm-hmm.
Or just shots where like the camera's in something and it closes or opens. I just like how it looks. But then editing it, I had someone who I signed as the editor, but I also was editing my own copy of it. And then, that was its own thing. But I remember I called you in to like, see the edit, like while we were showing it in class, and like, it was just so weird. There was so much unnecessary drama from it, and I don't know why.
Yeah. There was a lot of people had their own like conflicting opinions on the edit.
Yeah, which was interesting because like it was a class project. It was for all of us, but it was just, I don't know. It was a learning experience. It was like the first time I directed a lot of people, and like I guess wrote like a script that was a bit more intricate. So like that was definitely a learning experience, and like I still have it. I still watch it sometimes because like the edit I came out with was actually pretty decent. I think the idea originally, like the title was Mementos, but I didn't like it. And there was also a whole thing about, oh, Mementos is spelled with an E or an O, and I was just like, I'm illiterate, so I'm just gonna name it Regrets. So I ended up just calling it Regrets. What do you remember about it, Dylan?
I do remember the editing drama for sure, and it was just wild because like there was something about football. Whose idea was the football?
Yeah, I don't know.
I brought the football.
The whole thing about that was that we were all supposed to bring stuff that would be props for this regret.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember I brought one of my old laptop. I brought like some just random shit. We had an old box and all this stuff we just threw in, and like we had all this stuff, and I think we only used
2.
like 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3. One was like a teddy bear or something.
Yeah.
One was a ring, and one was the football, which I brought in.
And then I think my laptop was like he was just on it.
Yeah.
It was just so weird because we just on the stage, and it looks so weird because like looking at it, like I guess the whole thing is that it's in his head or something.
Yeah.
We just didn't explain what's going on.
Yeah, it feels
There was no
very,
reason we did that. Was it like
what
a-
would you call it? Like improv theater?
Fever Dream.
No, like improv theater. Like just,
Okay.
just on a black box or whatever. You alright, Josh?
Both the camera stopped recording.
That's fine.
Okay, so this is gonna be a podcast exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.